I'm excited about today's segment. We welcome Richard Sargent here to the program. He is the author of the Horror Movie Night Cookbook. Richard, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so first of all, you're a movie buff.
Yes.
And so what made you decide to pair horror movies and food?
Well, I've been a student of horror my whole life. I grew up watching horror films. My mother introduced me to them, and I just have this incredible love for them. My friends, however, told me that they thought horror was just pointless blood and guts. So any true horror fan will have to prove that wrong. So I invited them over. We watched 3 movies a night, 3 movies that I thought were very important to the horror genre, and I paired them with food from the films. It either came from the films themselves, they were eating it in the film.
Okay, so these are dishes that, some of them are dishes that actually appear in these movies.
That's right. Some of them are dishes that either appear in the movies or are inspired by a line or something a character does, but it is all influenced by the film itself. It's not just randomly, hey, here's a pizza.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you brought in 3 distinct, the bee sting cake, tell me the movie and its kind of genesis, its origin.
Yeah, so the bee sting cake is from the cult horror comedy Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's really funny, really great. I do recommend it. But in the film, there is a mishap with a beehive that is pretty hysterical and pretty integral to the plot. So I took that inspiration, and this is a honey nut cake with cream filling and some caramelized almonds on top.
Wow, that looks delicious. Yeah. Equally delicious looking, but more of a main dish. Ghost pepper chili? Or no, curry.
Yes, ghost pepper curry. So this is from the film Stir of Echoes, inspired by the film Stir of Echoes, which, if you're not familiar with that, it's a paranormal story. It's about a man who gets hypnotized and is told by his sister-in-law to open up a little bit, and he opens up and he lets in stuff from the other side. So I thought ghosts, ghost pepper, this is how we landed on that, and it's really spicy. So if you do make this one from the book, I recommend using a little lime to cut the heat.
Yeah, ghost peppers are really spicy. And we have a salad. Tell me about this kale salad.
This is the zombie baby kale salad.
Zombie baby kale salad.
Zombie baby kale salad, so it's baby kale. It's inspired by the reimagining of Dawn of the Dead in 2004. So this one, if you're familiar with the film, there's a birth in the mall this time around, and a zombie baby is born.
Yes.
And so I took that and I made that a salad, and it's got a nice crisp lemony vinaigrette, and it's perfect for like a Palm Springs summer day.
All right. What are some? Now you have a culinary background. You studied it. You did a little.
I took a few classes in New York. Yep.
So and that gave you the ability to kind of whip up these interesting creations.
Yeah, and I also used stuff from my past, stuff I've made in the past, and sort of altered it to make it work for the film. And so some of them are recipes that have been with me forever. Some of them are brand new that I had to learn because they cooked it in the film. Or
how many recipes roughly are in the book?
There are 60.
60
roughly
recipes?
60. Some have like a couple different recipes per meal.
Okay.
So over 60, and each meal is paired with a drink and a drinking game while you're watching the film.
I love it.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get this book.
It's super fun. Yeah. It comes out on July 18th.
All right.
Next week.
All right. The book will be available July 18th. It'll be available everywhere people can get books.
That is correct. Yes. That is correct.
Barnes & Noble,
Amazon. Amazon for sure. It's already up for pre-sale there.
Okay.
Online through Ulysses Press, the publisher.
What's your favorite horror movie? That's hard to pick. I know. Like, give me 3 of your favorites.
My 3 favorites were actually the very first night we did, and they are Scream.
Yeah.
It got me involved, personally invested in horror. I mean, it's a love letter to horror. If you don't love Scream, you don't love horror.
Yeah, and Scream is, I love Scream.
Yeah.
I delve into horror, but I'm not a deep dive like you. But Scream is great.
That's okay. This book will help you. Yeah, Scream is great. So there's a recipe for that in there. Event Horizon,
yes,
which is a cult classic, kind of getting a reawakening. Wasn't really appreciated when it came out, but it is really enjoyed now. So that is one of the desserts. I made a black hole for that one. And then The Descent.
Yes.
The Descent is one, I think, probably the scariest movie I ever watched at the time. And so that is a dinner inspired by the Appalachian Mountains.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. It's the Horror Movie Night Cookbook. It will be available on the 18th of July, and it is a lot of fun. You're going to love it. You get a drinking game and some great recipes, and it's a lot of fun to pair with your favorite movie night watching. Richard, thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.